life in quarantine. Nowhere to hide, it's worldwide. We can agree to disagree, but it don't matter now. This is life. We can chill face to face and debate what is fact and what has been a lie. We can pull every card and go hard with the truth, yet be brutalized. When it's all said and done, what we have and what we won't bring back alive. All we really need to do is hang on and speak life in every way. Let the people see, let them see, and make sure you know you're right. Oh, when you speak, don't believe. No, this is your defeat. Don't incriminate your mind. Oh, be free. Let us join hand in hand as we stand and demand our equality. Let them know how you feel, 'cause you wanna walk across the street stress-free without that hang. When it's all said and done, what we have and what we won't bring back alive. All we really need to do is stand strong and speak life. It's your life.
What we do around here?
Come on. Will you fight? It's time. Yeah.
Welcome everybody to another dope show tonight. Y'all know what we do. We talk about it. Life. Let's talk about it. Hey y'all, hey. Are you an artist? Are you a business owner? Are you a serial entrepreneur? Are you creating change within your community? If that's you, the Speak Life Talks podcast would love to have you on the show. Yes, I would love to interview you. Just send all your information, all your details to speaklifellc@gmail.com. Let's share with the world how you're making a change and continue to talk about life, baby. Life. Let's talk about it. I want to take this time to personally thank each and every one of you that will be tuning in, whether you're in the chat room or you're listening from afar. Thank you so much for joining the Speak Life Talks podcast show on this evening. We're going to talk about being. Such an important phrase, such an important mindset. We're going to talk about it because a lot of people need to understand how they're walking in life, why they're walking in life, and what they need to do to continue walking in life so they can, until they're transitioning into the next life. It's something serious, y'all. if you haven't, I need you to make sure, literally, if you haven't, please follow me on all my social media pages at Just Speak Life. That is SpeakLyfe, and that's acronym for Let Your Faith Evolve. Because while we're on our walk of understanding who we are, we're building, we're growing, we're acknowledging ourselves, we're acknowledging those around us, we're appreciating our space more. We're literally elevating. So yeah, make sure you're following me everywhere at Just Speak Life. And you heard the little promo earlier. If you please make sure you send me an email at I said that wrong. Nope. At SpeakLyfe@gmail.com. How y'all doing tonight? Welcome. So happy to have you guys here. If you are joining me or if you're looking to join me in the chat room, I invite you to click the link on my page or download the Spreaker app, and that's Spreaker with an R. Yes, Spreaker with an R. And type in or create your profile or sign in, and then find, Speak Life Talks podcast, and then get your ass in the chat room because I am going to shout you out. We're going to have a conversation tonight, as we always do, because life is about understanding the views and opinions of others, making decisions based off of your findings and elevating from there. It is very important and imperative that every last individual in life is elevating. If you're not elevating, the fuck is you doing? Like, what are you doing? Why are you wasting time? Why are you so unhappy? Okay? Like, So, tonight's conversation is about the state of being. Okay? I personally want to take this time also to shout out my sponsor, myself, Just Being Me Entertainment. Now, when I originally came up with that name, Just Being Me, honestly, the first initial mindset was, okay, I had not too long ago, excuse me, I'm kind of tired. I'm a tired beast tonight. So anyway, but I had actually I had just got out of my divorce. I was forced to tap into the music industry on the business side of it because my ex-husband was my manager at the time. And because we weren't working out as a couple, he didn't agree with how I wanted to approach the music realm, with me and being included a bit more. And his words verbatim was, that's stepping on his toes. If I felt like if I'm going to step on his toes, which I didn't think it was, because all I said was there are going to be some people that I'm going to want to work with that I would feel would be a good part of joining the team or just collaborating. Nah, he wasn't trying to hear that. So he said, if you're going to step on my toes and you're going to disrespect me, do that shit by yourself. And I said, what? Now, let me just tell you, I knew the relationship was irreconcilable, right? But we still had a good thing going with the music side of it. However, he thought, again, I was going to step on his toes. I didn't get it. I didn't understand that. So he threw me out there to the wolves, and I came back leading them bitches. You know what I'm saying? I came back. But thus, me saying all of that, it had me realize that in the process of doing this, I said, I'm going to be me the whole time, I really didn't understand and know what that was. So there you have it, Just Being Me. Just Being Me Entertainment. I've had people, even in my process up until now, question me about the whole thing of Just Being Me, that being the title of my company, because they felt like it was probably going to cause some issues, being that I was going through some certain things in my past that are just so happen to now resurface because of their own unhappiness. But we'll talk about that later in the show. Nonetheless, I fought for that name because no matter what, it's my truth. Anything that is in my past is my truth. I don't sugarcoat shit. I don't make anyone feel any less or more comfortable because of my story. And again, we're going to continue to talk more about all of it. Okay? So, y'all know what we do when we be doing what we do. We catch the vibe first. We get ourselves ready for the conversation. We meditate it out. I let you get your glass of wine. You chill, relax. But I really want you to chime in because this is a serious conversation. Why are you not in the state of being? What's blocking you from being yourself? Hey, real quick, I know I got the vibes going, but to all my producers out there in the world, I am looking for some really good vibe music to play on my SpeakLyfe Talks podcast show. If you're interested, please send me some tracks to SpeakLyfe@gmail.com. Send me some reference tracks. Send me some dope vibes that you feel would really, really complete the sound, the brand for SpeakLyfe Talks podcast. Send them artists too. Shout out to Juanica Nicole. She is the beautiful energy that shared a really good conversation on her page, and I'm definitely going to go a little bit further into that because it makes a lot of sense for the topic at hand tonight. Conversation will take place in 3 minutes, y'all. Just 3 minutes. Don't leave me, but tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to hop on in. y'all doing? How y'all doing? I want to thank you. I want to shout out the beautiful Juanica Nicole. She is in the building tonight, so I'm definitely believing she's going to have some really, 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 really great words to speak on tonight, because I follow her on Facebook. We've been following each other since I want to say, baby, 2016. And when I tell you one thing I love about us black women, we some hustling babies. So that was the only way I ended up meeting her, because she was on her grind. And she has grown into this extremely beautiful source of energy on this earth that I've watched over the course of this time frame of her being on my profile. Can you guys believe it? We've never even really met in person, but I just love and I admire how black women, though we may not know their entire story, though we may not know what they go through on a daily basis, and we only see what each other allows each other to see, but to know that the push through is real, that the elevation is real, that the being is real. So Juanica Nicole, thank you so much for joining. Thank you for just being a light for many other women as well as men. You know, this isn't just for us. However, we are the pillars for a lot of change that does take place, and I really don't give a damn what anybody say. Oh, Juanique, just so you know, this is a community. This is a no judgment zone. This is a no, talk your shit, mean your shit, say what you say, do what you gonna do, but we all do it in love. Because ain't nobody got time for that. And if you hadn't heard what I said in the beginning, this is SpeakLyfe. Life, LYFE, is acronym for Let Your Faith Evolve. When I decided to pursue this podcast, I was leery. I was nervous. A lot of people told me that I should do it. I was like, I don't know. Yeah, it sounds good, but I wasn't so sure. However, I put it out there to the universe and the people that I was going to do it with a date and all. And congratulations, we are 16 episodes in. This is literally the 16th episode of SpeakLyfe Talks podcast. I'm so grateful and so happy. It's steady building by the day. It's holding me accountable and it's allowing me to really release as well as open up and heal, which is something so many of us don't do, or we're not doing correctly. Too busy focusing on what everybody else has going on, or how someone else is healing, or what someone else's journey looks like. And that's not what it's about. It's not about that at all. And this is why when I was coming across, I was on Facebook scrolling, and I came across your post in regards to being, let me stop the music for a little bit. When I came across the post and I saw that the commentary that you put, I'm trying to go back to it and talk at the same time, you guys. Work with me. Now, you guys can't see it, but if you're following me from her page, on that post, it shows two men, and they're sitting in their meditating stance. And on the left side, it shows what the one man is literally meditating on, which is meditation, enlightenment, chakras, Reiki, family, power, success, job, like all the things, the necessities that we're desiring in our lives to have a more peaceful life. Whereas the gentleman on the other side in his meditation stance is not thinking about anything. And Juanica's commentary over that, or caption over that, was, and it's true, this might fly over your head. To the right, to the right is where my mind state is becoming. And it's the state of being your existence, just being, just be. And I was speaking earlier that on my journey of being, I created my company, Just Being Me. I did not realize how in depth or how in tune that will be, even for tonight's topic, because we're all growing, we're all learning, we're all trying to understand why we're existing here on this earth. What is our calling? What are we to do? How are we to do it? What's the next step? And honestly, I feel, and Juanika, if you can chime on this, I feel at times we do too much thinking about all the extra bullshit. We do too much thinking when it's just best to just be. And sometimes that just starts with opening your eyes, inhaling, exhaling, and just accepting where you are at that very moment. Oh, God. Whew. Look, see, I just had to do it myself, because at so many times when we're going through our building stages, you know, we happen to stumble at times, if not all the time, or a lot of times throughout our life. We stumble because we're trying to figure it out. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, all your stumbles are going to be like major mistakes or anything like that, but they will be lessons that you're learning in your process getting to your state of being. Okay? However, sometimes in those situations, while you're working on being, and let's just say as you've elevated from your past, there are other situations in your past that have issues with being that they can't accept you being. So they try to reinsert themselves into your life. How fair is that? So with me making those, saying those things, I wanted to share this. I actually Googled this because being starts with self. Being in a state of being starts with having a great relationship with yourself. I can really attest to this. And I know I'm not the only one, but I might be the only one that talks on this. Just so you guys know, disclaimer, when it comes to Speak Life Talks, I do not talk about nothing that does not involve me. We can have a discussion, but the conversation will always start with me and my stories first. Because, again, this is all about accountability. And every day I'm working on me. Every day. And I love the woman that I am becoming. I love the conversations that I am having with other like-minded individuals. I am loving the power that God is placing in me. I won't even say that he's placing, because I always had it. I just didn't know how to maneuver with it because I was applying so much of that power to so many wrong areas of my life that now I'm a little bit more aware and I'm able to manipulate and focus it, that it's really working towards my good. Anika said, that's right. I see so many people debating and going back and forth on what should be and what shouldn't, how to do this and how to do that. And I'm like, truly, there is no right way. And that is the truth. There is no right way. We are all trying to learn and get through. Sometimes we try to force it when we should just simply be and align to who you are. Angry, any truth you need to know it will come. Oh my God. Oh, see, this is why I love her. I love her, because right there, that's spoken truth. That's spoken truth. We all are learning. And we're all learning ourselves. And to be honest with you, if we can go a little bit further into that, we're all relearning, we're reprogramming, we're redirecting. We're in a state where everything that we've learned from a child growing up into a point of where we're getting to understand that, we was in the matrix at some point. What was taught to us is not what it is, because we've taken the blinders off of our eyes and we're wanting to see for ourselves. And see, a lot of people take the saying, ask and ye shall receive. It's in the Bible. Me personally, I feel like when I first saw that, for me, it was like, go a little deeper. Yeah, we have the scriptures. We have the scriptures. But even in the scripture, it says study to show thyself approved, right? Right. Now, I don't know the specific, books to read. Whoever's on here, they can post it. However, there is so much knowledge out here in the world. And if your relationship with God is as deep as you say it is, the understanding that is presented to you, God will show you. It's not for anyone else. It's between you and God. And a lot of people don't understand that. The understanding of life that you're seeking, that you're communicating with God, you and God alone, not you, God, the pastor, the Buddha priest, like the life and understanding you're seeking between you and God, the higher part alone, is the understanding that you will receive. That is for no one else. And I just had to put that out there because, sometimes people be extreme Bible thumpers and they're forcing you to believe what they believe. And it's like, no, we can have a healthy conversation. We can have our differences of opinions. We can agree to disagree. But this is what it is. This is the message that God gave me. So, Juanika, thank you for that. I really appreciate you for that. Now, going back into us talking about being, it's all a part of being. I went online and I wanted to find some keys that you guys could use to build yourself in the process. And I happened to go to psychologytoday.com. Okay. And this is by, who is this? This is, I want to say Grant Hillary Brenner, who is a medical doctor and all that extra stuff. When you go to psychologytoday.com, you'll be able to see it. But the topic of the discussion is 12 keys to a great self-relationship starting right now. What's good, Full Spinners in the building? Shout out to my bro. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you tell a friend to hop on in. The discussion, the topic of discussion tonight is being. What is blocking you? What is blocking you? And some of the things that we already discussed that Juanika actually shared in. And just so you know, Juanika Nicole is the individual, the beautiful energy that gave me this topic on tonight. I love you too, bro. She gave me this topic for tonight because it's important to just be. Let me get a little bit on. Let me just tell y'all a little something. Tonight, she said, another thing I'm learning. Like you said, there is so much knowledge out here. You learn something. Then you learn something else that questions what you have learned. Ooh, now you're confused. Oh, look. Oh, Jesus. Now you're confused and searching for more answers. I find myself getting caught up this way and my mind gets too loud. So I'm that picture. That's why the right side is who I'm striving to be. Amen. Amen. Because that is very true, Juanika. Knowledge, once consumed, will drive you. And if I've learned this, baby. If you allow the knowledge you consume to drive you without protection, without the right energy, without the right focus, you will be all over this place. That's why you see a lot of people. I don't like calling them homeless because they're not homeless. A lot of those people that are out there, they choose to be because they don't want the responsibilities. I've seen it. I've come across it. That's just what it is. And then some of those individuals I call them less fortunate. Some of those individuals, were in the same state that a lot of us were when it came to seeking knowledge, seeking understanding, building, elevating your mind. And a lot of them have consumed so much knowledge. And don't get me wrong, not all of it is good knowledge. But again, that comes with you having a really deep connection with God or the higher power, with you really being able to cipher through for yourself. For yourself. A lot of people think it's leaning on your own understanding, but it really isn't. And you can correct me or we can agree to disagree, but it's really not leaning on your own understanding. It's leaning on the understanding that God has given you and you alone. No one can question your relationship because nobody knows the conversations that you and God have when you're in that moment of really talking to God. I can't sit up here and say, well, nigga, that ain't what God told me about to tell you, blah, 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 blah. God said this, now this was y'all conversation. I can't do that. I'm wrong. No, we don't share the same energy in that retrospect. Now, don't get me wrong. God will send messengers. God will send messengers. And the way you'll know it is if the information that you're on the path of understanding, the questions you've asked God alone, if it resonates with your heart, if it resonates, it has to resonate. There has to be something within that message that is a confirmation to what it is you're going through, that you can say, oh, you know what? Okay, I'm on the right path. Because God works through people. He does. But then you have those individuals who are malicious, who have ill intent, who don't want to do the work sometimes, who don't want to do the work, and they will feed off of that negative energy within themselves, and they'll spew out that madness. That's how you'll know. Energy does not lie. Energy does not lie. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Energy does not lie. And a person, though having a representative, will always show you who they are in the first stages of meeting them. I don't give a damn how it looks, how it feels. Nope. Because those red flags are not red flags, are red flags for a reason, baby. Even if they try to dip them and dye them or whatever the case may be. If they ain't used the lifter to pull that red out, yes, still red. Nonetheless, just be careful with the knowledge you're acquiring, because though it's out there, what's meant for you, you're going to receive it. And as long as your connection with God is pure and true, you will walk that right path. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. And I have to use Juanica because she's proof, being that I've seen her for those years. I've seen her on her journey of self-love, of self-understanding, of being, where the transformation has been real. She's not the only one. Don't get it twisted. She's not the only woman that I've seen, but she is one of the only women that I've watched to acknowledge it in herself and share her story with so many others. And now she's this great business mogul. Look at me speaking life into you. You're a business mogul. You have a brand out of this world, baby. You took the knowledge that you've acquired on your travels, and now you've put it into something that really taps in to the people. And it's in a market that a lot of people will say, oh, it's heavily saturated, blah, 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 blah. But fuck that. You took it and you made it your own. Thus, everybody that God has in place to receive the messages from you, because of how you're connecting and relating to those people, have been waiting for you for so long, are now receiving it. So kudos to you, Queen. I love you and I thank you for that. Okay? Because she's accepting her state of being. Sometimes it's just good to just sit there and do nothing. If you listen to my background. Y'all don't hear nothing, right? Because it's peaceful. It's peaceful. When you're in the process and when you're in your transition, when you're working towards being your best self, that peace is every fucking thing. Tell me I'm lying. Once you've realized the chaos you've been through in your life while trying to get to who you are, your peace is everything. You pay a high price for it. And once you've paid that price, you'll do any and every damn thing to protect it. We're all in a battle right now. Me per se, I'm in a battle right now because my past is coming at me very strong because of some ill shit that, I'm not going to lie, I did in my past. And I accepted and I forgave myself. I forgave myself. You're welcome, baby. You're welcome. You deserve it. I forgave myself. And when you are forgiving of self, which is one of the prime states of being, when you can learn to forgive yourself, you start moving differently. You start being differently. You start talking differently. Your act is different. Your approach is different. That light that you have, though it was always bright, becomes brighter. Motherfuckers hate it. They despise it. How dare you change? How dare you not be who you were when I first met you? How dare you choose to be? How dare you become more than I am? Which is entirely your fault. Your life is your life. We get the same 24/7 in a day. Because you choose to be lackadaisical in certain areas of your life has shit to do with me. Okay. So, 12 keys to a great self-relationship starting now. Okay, let's go into this a little bit. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but I'm going to just give you a little bit of what they're talking about. So they say this: your relationship with yourself is arguably the most important relationship in life. Self-relationship is the foundation of everything else, even altruism. It's easy to identify pathological aspects of self-relatedness, which some things like negative narcissism, overwhelming shame about ourselves, I ain't never heard this word before, but I'm going to do my best to sound it out. Solipsistic. It's solipsistic. Y'all look it up. Y'all figure it out. Perspectives. An inability to relate to and empathize with others and so on. It is likewise easy to identify traits which we associate with others being in a good place, having their act together, showing good interpersonal skills, appearing successful by conventional definitions, and so on. It's easy to take things for granted. Even being able to focus on oneself in such a way is a marker of being very fortunate in the first place. That's how they brought that in. Okay, all right. That's respect. So the first one they said, going beyond self-care. Oh, well, we're not going to get too far into that. That's a lot of reading that you guys can do on your own time. I want to tell you what the 12 keys are. So the first one, set intentions and cultivate awareness. Set the overarching goal over a span of years to keep moving towards a good relationship with yourself, with the understanding that what this entails will change over the years. Listen, if that ain't the truth, when I decided, and well, let me bring this back. In 2012, when I decided that I was going to go through the process of the divorce with my ex-husband. And I speak on this because this is true. This right here, this process of being, it takes time. It takes time. We're in a world today where everybody is looking for instant gratification, instant results, microwave society. I used to hear that shit when I was younger, and I didn't understand that because I'm like, if we're in a microwave society, why am I still using the goddamn stove and it's taking forever and I got to actually create the ingredients or find the ingredients to make certain shit happen? And then I started really understanding what that microwave society was. I'm like, oh, okay, this makes sense. Okay. And then now our children, the youth that are coming up behind us, the whole nine. But listen, when I decided to divorce my ex-husband, in that process, I literally had to start over from scratch. I remember every day crying my ass off because I didn't think I deserved to be in that moment. I didn't deserve it. But my homegirl, who's usually my co-host, shout out to my beautiful friend Shanika LeVay, she informed me that I was subscribing to somebody else's shit, which was true. If you don't remember that, go back a couple episodes and you'll see. And I think that was the preparing for your affirmations. That was that episode. However, I realized, there was a day in particular that I was actually looking in the mirror, crying my ass off. And my words to myself, when I looked and focused in, looked deadly in my eyes to myself, and I said, I believe in you, Jackie, if no one else will. That was 2012. I really didn't understand the levels of my power and my energy when I spoke that. I activated something within myself that is getting me over the hurdles even now. Because I didn't know how. A lot of people think there's an instruction on how to believe in yourself or how to push through or how to do anything of that nature. No. Sometimes all it takes is the words, your words, and your purest of your purest intention. When you put it out there, you're throwing it to the universe. The universe is taking heed to what you're saying. The universe, before it activates, it's asking you, are you sure this is what you want? And when you make it known and you're clear and you're concise, the universe begins to work on your behalf. You could not tell me in 2012 and from 2012 that in 2021, we would be here having this conversation right now. You couldn't tell me that this would be a part of my healing journey. You couldn't tell me that I would come across so many great people. You couldn't tell me that I would come across individuals that have actually watched me and are watching me just as I watch so many other great people, and tell me how I'm affecting their lives in such a good way. Because I wouldn't believe it, because I was so broken within myself mentally, because I didn't have the right kind of relationship with myself, seeking appreciation and acceptance from others, looking for confirmations from others when it was within me and God alone. So the next one, plan for the short, middle, and long term. As part of being thoughtful regarding cultivating a great relationship with oneself, it is important to set priorities for different time frames. Having realistic goals, setting milestones, and steps for each goal are proven ways to stay on the right track. Realize that the motivation in the short term is often based on rewards. For example, feeling great, you started a new class you've always wanted to take. But over the longer haul, motivation becomes less exciting and more about maintaining habits and avoiding dropping new behaviors. Amen. Therefore, blending novelty with long-term satisfaction is a good general recipe. The long-term rewards are an investment which comes due down the road, often just when you need them, but it can be easy to focus too much on immediate gratification. Didn't we just talk about this? Man, listen. I didn't even skim through all of this. I literally just put in the understanding of being, and this was the first thing that popped up, and I was like, we're going to talk about this because I liked it, the 12 steps. It says, number 3, adopt an attitude of curiosity and acceptance. Recognize that change is inevitable and generally good to embrace without excess fear. Only over time do we come to see areas which are truly stable and may define who we are to ourselves and others. Be wary of making changes, however, which have not been fully explored, or making decisions which don't seem or feel right in some ways, or getting stuck in indecision. What did I tell you earlier? When it comes to acquiring knowledge, there's a lot of it out here. But you have to be careful with yourself. You have to be. It's imperative. It's important. Number 4, prioritize basic self-care. Sleep, nutrition, activity, rest, recreation, and mental habits are the foundation of sustainable self-care. Number 5. Oh, this is the most one. Well, I'm not even going to say the most, because everything that they've discussed so far is so true to having, a relationship with yourself and being okay with you. Be kind to yourself. This doesn't mean letting yourself off the hook or shrinking or shirking responsibilities, but it does mean working towards appraising yourself without destructively aggressive criticism or blame. Again, you make mistakes, baby. You go through certain things in your life. It ain't always good. But it's not meant for you to stay in that moment. It's not meant for you to hate yourself, to harm yourself, to feel like you're less than, to belittle yourself, or even to let an outsider tell you what you're not. Because the relationship that you and God have alone has shit to do with them. And whatever God tells you and whatever you believe within yourself, that's what you are. The right people that God will put around you will confirm it for you, without you having to look for that instant gratification, without you waiting for someone to see you, without you having to be so bright in your colors. Look at me, I'm over here. I'm right here. Can you see me? See me too. Nah, we don't do that Me Too shit over here. This is why I say own your dopeness. Owning your dopeness does not mean owning the great things about you. Owning your dopeness means owning your flaws, owning your fuck ups, owning that one moment in time in your life, you weren't always where you are now. But forgiving yourself is vital to you to get to that level. It's vital. Am I right, Juanica, or am I right? Somebody tell me. I need input. I need people to let me know how they feel, because this is real shit right now. Being is real. When you can conquer and master that state, oh my God, the endless possibilities that God has for you. Nobody can tell you different. Number 6, seek others who fit your goals. Look. Oh my God. This right here, this is so good, because in life, and when you desire that change so much, and you're having those intimate conversations with God and discreet in regards to building yourself, and you're looking in the mirror so much more, you just want to know that you're on the right path. You just want to know that your worth is being matched up with the right people in your lives. Now, don't get me wrong. Again, you're going to have people, representatives, trying to get into your circle, because they want to see and they want to understand, how is it that you're so successful? Especially when they feel like they got more than you. When they feel like they have more than you. How is this possible? And you got to look at the motherfuckers and you say, baby, it's not on me, it's in me. It's not on me, it's in me. And because I accept it, and I'm not running away from it, and I forgive myself, and I love myself, and I cherish myself, and because I know that I am any and everything that God has allowed me to see for myself, believe for myself, seek, feel, is why I move gracefully as I do. I don't have to be in the best car, the latest edition. My house does not have to be top notch. I don't have to have all the money in the world. I don't have to have all the followers in the world. I don't have to be on such a major platform that everybody can see me. Because I see me. I see me. I'm okay with what I see. I'm okay with my smile. I am happy because I choose to be. that assists. That right there assists with my state of being. You hear me, babe? Yeah. All right. So in addition to being around people who treat you well, it's helpful to have relationships with others who also seek to have a good relationship with themselves. We don't do crab in the bucket mentality as bullshit. It's stressful enough that even in our walks of being, we still have to go through certain things ourselves. When you're fighting off or you're shedding your past, again, I talk about it right now because it's current. My past is really coming in to attack me because they're unhappy with themselves. They're not satisfied. Someone has wronged them. Someone has manipulated their mind to the core where they are struggling with understanding who they need to be for themselves to pull through. So because of who I was in my past, that's all they know. That's all they understand. And I'm okay with it. This is why I am not acting irate or I'm not jumping to their level because they don't deserve me. They don't deserve my energy. They don't deserve who I was in my past. And if I allow that energy to take me back, then I don't deserve who I am now. You see how that works? It always comes back to you. Doesn't matter what the other individual is doing, how they're acting, it always comes back to you. What's your next move? If you ask any of my friends, that's all we have conversations, and that's all. That's the question that's asked. Once you get it out, what's the next move? Number 7, cultivate realistically optimistic behavior. Perfectionism and all or nothing thinking is the enemy of sustainable change. Many people I know want everything to get fixed in a short period of time. This almost always leads to failure and maintain a negative cycle of self-blame. Get that shit out of the way and more cracking the whip. Get that shit out of the way. Much of the time, this crosses into the dark place of self-abuse and punishment, which is not a recipe for healthy change, but people sometimes say it is better than nothing. Get the fuck out of here with that mindset. Get out of here with beating up yourself. Yeah, we've all been there. We've all done that. But again, we're elevating. We're elevating our minds. We're growing. We're building. We're acknowledging. We're allowing ourselves to feel. This is why we're human. We're here for a reason. It's okay to feel. It's okay to accept your pain. It's okay to accept and understand that this is what you're going through. But don't stay there. There's no reason for you to stay there. There is no reason for you to beat yourself up. Stop that shit. Number 8, have a personal crisis plan. Interesting. So sometimes life deals us a really bad hand, or we make a decision which we regret and hate ourselves for. At these times, it's helpful to have a personal crisis plan because these are times in which we are almost most vulnerable to falling back on old habits and justifying self-abuse. The simplest plan is to expect these times may come and be prepared with ways of understanding how we are feeling, which keeps us focused on long-term intentions and goals while dealing with the immediate issue, writing down our thoughts for this eventuality and referring to them, and having a couple of close people available for such times to help keep things in perspective can be very effective. Listen, that is crazy. So the day before, as all of the mess was starting to take place for me, I was sitting at my desk, and I was working on this platform trying to get some things into play so that I can start accepting call-ins. However, something told me to shut my laptop down. I shut it down and I pulled out my gratitude journal. And when I pulled out the gratitude journal, I just began writing. And I was writing what I was currently feeling and my experiences. And then I stopped because I then asked myself, what are you going to do about it? And I began writing. And this has everything also to do with affirmations about what I am accepting, how I feel, what I am grateful for, and so forth and so forth, and what I am choosing to do moving forward. And as God is my witness, once I wrote that down, I closed the book, I put the pen on top of the book, I left it there. And immediately in that moment, it was a release for me, and it felt so good that I was like, okay, I can move through. Now, again, that didn't mean that the problems didn't just leave, because they're still here. But yesterday, from the morning until later in the evening, my homegirls, and I hadn't even talked to them about what I was going through. But I don't know if they sensed me or whatever the case may be, because we're all on a journey towards better. But when I tell you iron sharpens iron, they came in swiftly and they picked your girl up and they made me feel so good. And I was just so happy, like so genuinely happy that I ask God for the desires of my heart when it comes to the people that I'm surrounded by. And God has been delivering just that. Like, I'm just like, wow, this is really real. Ask and ye shall receive, seek and ye shall find. It's really real. I'm even still overwhelmed at this moment, because it was so rich and pure in its nature. The way I am for my homegirls, they were for me. So I thank each and every last one of them. Like, they came to my rescue. Shout out to y'all babies. Number 9, maintain meaningful activity. Rather than having a static definition of success, work towards having regular activities which provide satisfaction and a sense of accomplishment. And that can be anything. Like, that really can be anything. Like, if your house is a mess, get up and you decide to clean one room on that day because you're so busy doing whatever you're doing, but you cleaned that room. That's an accomplishment. Or you decided to actually put up a big calendar on your wall so that you can help assist yourself getting organized and whatever you're doing. It's a small goal, but it can be an accomplished goal. It's realistic. It pertains to your betterment of self-being, literally. Like, it doesn't have to be major, but it can be major if you wanted to, but it's still allow it to be realistic. Number 10, establish good habits. Start your day in such a way that you increase the likelihood of having a day which supports your self-relationship goals. Not too long ago, I was sitting at my computer, as I've been lately, because this brand has really been taking a toll on me in such a really great way, because I see how it is elevating me, thus me wanting to do more to assist and help in elevating others. I decided to hone in and put myself on a schedule that pertains to the betterment of my life and myself, because I want something. There is something that I am so desiring, and it's crazy because it's for me, but it's not for me. It's for me, but it's not for me alone. And I know that in order for me to do it, because of the vision that was just recently given to me, I have to really chime down or hone in or restrict myself to a more realistic schedule that will allow me to do exactly what I need to do. So that's dope. Number 11, speak differently to yourself. God damn it, if I couldn't say it again. My handle every time I say anything, when I go live, when I'm on this show, I always tell you to speak life into yourself and others. Most importantly, speak life into yourself, because if you don't believe in what you're saying, how in the hell can you expect anyone else to believe it? They said if you tend to speak harshly to yourself out loud or in your head, when you notice you are doing that, learn to interrupt the action and take a reflective step back. Notice how you'll feel. Is your heart rate higher? Do you feel agitated? Are you speaking fast and critically with yourself? Think about slowing down and being kind and gentle with yourself. Let yourself calm down, reappraise the situation, and try again. Some people find it helpful to have conversations out loud with themselves. Under the right condition, doing so can be very useful. I don't think I've stressed this enough when it comes to being and having a relationship with yourself. Please understand, in the beginning stages, it's going to seem hard because you're breaking cycles, you're breaking curses, you're breaking yokes that have covered you from your younger age to where you are now. And it's going to be a process. It's not going to be easy. But as God is my witness, it is so worth it that as you're uncovering, as you're shedding, as you're loosening shit, as you're releasing, as you begin to accept, as you begin to love more, love yourself, take time with yourself, pamper yourself, appreciate yourself. As you are doing these things, it will become easier and easier. Life is still going to come at you. Please understand that. Life is still going to come at you. But it is still your job. It is still your responsibility to love on yourself. And the last one of the 12 keys to building a great relationship with self: avoid the selfish trap. A good number of us are raised to see practically anything to do with taking care of ourselves as bad and specifically selfish. Of course, being overly self-centered is problematic for relationships and ultimately self-destructive. We may think everything for ourselves is an indulgence and a luxury. Many of the things we see as extras are really necessities. Some actual luxuries are great from time to time, and this person feels grateful and lucky to have such opportunities because they aren't always there. I'm going to read this all through. However, when family and culture or religion teaches that nearly everything to do with looking after one's needs is selfish, there is a problem. A lot of the time, this is coupled with punishment, either psychological, you're a bad girl because you were selfish, and or material. For example, going to bed without dinner, getting hit, or worse. We tend to internalize the same damning moral judgment which we dole out on ourselves. This is reinforced by belief systems with extol the virtues of extreme self-sacrifice, even martyrdom, leading to what classical analysis call moral masochism. I don't even know if I said that right. Masochism, y'all get the understanding. All these factors are roadblocks to a good relationship with oneself, and it's important to recognize and work on them. Recognize that being selfish can be defined in positive and negative ways. And that is so crazy, yet so true. And with that being said, I have to say this. And it's funny because now that I see that, I should have entitled the topic of the session this, but it's important. And we're gonna talk more about this on another time, but I really at some point want to go into the selfish self-improvement versus selfish self-entitlement. Look, okay, God, I see how you working. You are so dope. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for the clarity. Thank you for the conversation. Thank you for putting me in a position to actually have these conversations with my peers. Thank you for just allowing me to open up and just finally accept this part of my life. Thank you, God. I really, really humbly and gratefully appreciate you because I understand the power that you've given me. I understand how I am to maneuver and move, and I will continue to keep moving and maneuvering in such a light that it will continue to shine upon everyone, and those that are willing to receive it will receive it correctly. Wow, that is powerful. That was for me, y'all. I'm grateful. I'm grateful. And I also want to end with this. For those that are working on building that relationship, understand that you're in the right place. You're in the greatest position of your life. You're at the right place, especially if you are tuned in. And I will say this to you. It's time to struggle no more. The pathway is clear. In this season, the requirements are different. Whatever you did to get to this point, you will have to change up to get to the next point. I want to take this time and I want to shout out to Full Spin for being in the building. Thank you so much for chiming in. Miss Juanica Nicole, thank you so much for your energy, for your spirit, for your input. It is so amazing to have so many individuals come in at different times of these conversations and actually share with the masses how life is affecting them, and it's also building them up and so forth. So I thank you so much. And I don't think I did this at the beginning, but I am the only one, Jackie B, telling you thank you so much. If you're not, make sure you're following me on all social media platforms at Just Speak Life. That's SpeakLyfe for Let Your Faith Evolve. You can also follow my artist page at Only One Jackie B, because I do sing my ass off every once in a while. But again, if you're an artist, if you are a business, an entrepreneur, whatever, send me your information. SpeakLyfe@gmail.com. We are here Friday with It's a Vibe. Y'all know all we do is vibe out, and I need good music. I want you here, baby. So tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to hop their asses on in. But I'm going to leave you with this, and you're going to have a good night because I said so. Remember to speak life into yourself and others, and most importantly, remember to speak life into yourself first. Because if you don't believe in what you're saying, how in the hell can you expect anyone else to? I'm signing out. Y'all have a good night.
When it's all said and done, what we have and what we won't bring back alive. Hang on and speak life in every way. Let the people see, let them see, and make sure you know you're right.